What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's topic I'm super pumped to talk about because it's a question I get all the time. It's a question I know so many of you have, and so many of you are probably super confused about, especially if you're someone who's kind of new to working out, new to lifting, new to all of that stuff. So you probably already know the question because it's probably the title of this video, but we're gonna be talking about if you're trying to lose fat, do you do weights or you do cardio? Make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I'm gonna give you an actual action plan you can use to burn the fat that you're trying to burn and get down to the body fat percentage that you want to be at. So before we get started, make sure you hit that little subscribe button down below, hit the little bell button as well, and give this video a like if you enjoy this kind of video. So without further ado, let's talk. Should you be doing cardio or should you be doing weights if you want to lose fat? So instead of losing fat, let's look at this as if you want to make money. The first method to making money is you just get a job because you want to make money. Now, if you don't have any education or anything like that, typically the only kind of job you can get is a pay per hour type of job. Just getting a job is comparable to just doing cardio. Just doing cardio, you are burning calories and you're probably going to be losing some weight. Let's go back to the job side. It's a pay per hour kind of job, X amount of hours a week, and you get paid this amount per hour. Now, let's say you want to make more money than you are making with the amount of hours that you're working. The only thing you can really do in a job situation like that, work more hours. Same thing is true on the cardio side of things. If you want to burn more fat than you have already burnt and you're kind of plateaued with the cardio that you're doing, the only option you have is to do more cardio, put in more hours to burn more calories. So let's say you lose this job or you stop doing cardio. What happens when you lose a job that was probably not really that high paying, just kind of paying your bills? When you lose that, there's probably nothing in your savings, there's nothing sustaining that income that you had. Same thing is true with cardio. When you stop doing the cardio that was burning your fat, well, you stop losing the fat and you stop keeping that fat off. It is not sustainable. So this brings us to method number 2. So instead of making the money through getting a job right away, you go to college to get an education. People typically do this to get, a little bit more specialty in a certain area so that you can make more money when you get out of college. The one thing about going to college is you usually have to pay money in order to make more money later. Now, the same holds true with weightlifting. Weightlifting is not the quickest method for you to lose weight. It just isn't, because you have to go through the process of building muscle. You have to kind of give a little, invest a little in yourself, realize that you're not going to lose a ton of pounds right away, but still do it anyway because you know in the end it's going to be super beneficial for you. That is exactly what it's like going to college. You go to college because you're investing in yourself. You know that right now kind of sucks, you're kind of broke, but you know that when you get out of college, you're gonna have the better possibility of getting a higher paying job. So let's say, you're out of college, you get this job, you can also get promoted in this job. So instead of just making the amount of money you're making now, you might make more and more and more as the years go on. Same thing with just weightlifting. If you're weightlifting, you're going to be burning the calories you're burning in that actual lift, but you're also building muscle mass. So you're gonna eventually be burning more and more and more throughout a day because you're gonna have more muscle mass on your body the more you stay consistent with lifting. Now, just like a regular job, you can't expect to be promoted in one company if you keep bouncing around other companies. You can't expect to have more muscle mass, be burning more calories throughout a day if you're not being consistent with it. Consistency is key with getting that muscle mass in weightlifting. And it's sustainable weight loss, meaning that say you do get fired from this job, you probably did have enough money to have some money in your savings account to sustain you for a little bit until you find a new job. So let's say you stop weightlifting for a little bit. You probably have enough of an increase in your metabolic rate to keep that weight off and to actually see that sustainable weight loss that you wanted to see. Now, the third method, which I think is the most optimal method, is you get a job while you're going to college. Let's say you're in college, it kind of sucks. You don't have much money, you're spending all this money on books and on crap for your dorm room and all this stuff, and you're like, what the hell, I have no money. You don't have to have no money while you're in college. You can work. Obviously, time is restricted in college, but you still do have some time to find time to make money with a job if you wanted. So this is the third method that I think is super optimal for a lot of people, is if you both weightlift and do cardio at the same time. So how are you gonna do this? Let's say you're somebody who is overweight and you're ready to just start burning some fat and get down to a point that you want to be at. Let's say you've never worked out before in your entire life. Never, ever, 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 ever. Okay, maybe not entire life, but let's say in the most recent history of your life, you have not been working out at all. Nothing. Zero, nada. Okay? What you should be doing, getting to the gym, lifting weights in a compound form. Meaning, if you have literally not been working out at all, just focus on compound things. Getting in some squats, getting in some deadlifts, getting in some hip thrusts. For upper body, you're gonna be focusing on shoulder press. You're gonna be focusing on lat pull downs. You're gonna be focusing on rows. All of these are compound movements, meaning they take more than one muscle group to complete. That means since it takes more than one muscle group to complete, it burns more calories because it needs more muscles to actually do it. That, and since you're working more than one muscle, you have the potential to grow more than one muscle, which will eventually increase your metabolic rate. So, focusing on compound movements and lifting about anywhere from like 3 to 4 days a week as a beginner, a very new beginner. 3 to 4 days a week is fine. I would just keep it an upper lower split, doing upper body one day, lower body another day. Upper body another day, lower body the other day. That way, you know, it doesn't get too confusing. You can obviously know the difference between something when you're working your arms versus something when you're doing your lower body. You don't have to think about, is this a shoulder, bicep, tricep, what? What's super important about doing this is that you want to obviously focus on increasing your strength. When you increase your strength, you have more of a chance of actually increasing your muscle mass. That, and you want to make sure you're keeping your rest periods kind of short, because what's gonna happen is if your heart rate is elevated, you're burning calories, and you wanna make sure it's kind of elevated as much as possible while your muscles still have some time to rest in between sets. So let's say you go do some shoulder presses. Don't go sit on your phone for 5 minutes after. Don't. Watch the clock, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, whatever you need. Okay, go, do it again. 30 seconds, 45 seconds, go, do it again. Don't let your heart rate go all the way down to now you're sitting on your phone for like 5 minutes like, oh, I guess I should go again. Keep your heart rate up, watch those rest seconds, watch those rest periods, and make sure you are lifting some heavy weight and pushing yourself every time you're at the gym. But that doesn't mean you have to completely not do cardio. What I would do is, if you've never been in the gym before, first start out with just the lifting. Just do that for a couple weeks, and eventually you're gonna plateau. You're gonna feel like, okay, I'm not really making many changes anymore. At that point, I would add in a little bit of cardio. You could do maybe 1 or 2 sessions of low intensity steady state, which just means like some walking, whether it's incline or Stairmaster, or, you know, walking your dog for like 20 or 30 minutes. Then you're gonna be doing that. You're probably gonna burn some more fat that way, and then you plateau a little bit. Okay, then do a little something more or something different, meaning maybe take out one of those low intensity days and add in a high intensity interval training session. Then you do that for, you know, 2-3 weeks, whatever, you plateau. You've plateaued now for like 2 weeks. You're like, okay, let's add in a little bit more cardio, or let's add in another day of lifting. It's all about trial and error. Doing things, staying consistent with your lifting. Please stay consistent with lifting, even if you feel like it's doing nothing, I promise you it is. And not just focusing on cardio to burn fat. So, to sum it all up, 1, do not do just cardio to burn fat. 2, also maybe don't just do weightlifting to burn fat. 3, do a combination of both. Find your sweet spot where, you know, you don't have to be just going to college, losing all this money, and you don't have to just go straight into a job because it's the easiest, quickest route, and just make some shitty money and not have anything be sustainable. You can find the medium, make money, go to college at the same time. That's how you're gonna lose weight, guys. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below. And let me know in the comments if you did like it, because I would love to do more sort of analogous, whatever, videos like this in the future. So thanks for watching.